Hello, it is Kirsten Johnson, and I'm so excited you are here with me today. We are going to Udara in Canggu, Bali, and we're going to be with Rhonda Swan, who is Hanalei's mother, aka the Unstoppable Momma, to learn about her story and everything branding, especially branding for speakers. So let's do this. I am so excited to introduce you to Rhonda Swan. She is the CEO of the Unstoppable Branding Agency. Her and her family have been traveling the world for 11 years?
Yeah.
And running her business online the entire time. So to you aspiring speakers and authors out there, listen close to this because she has a lot of wisdom to share with you about how to get yourself out there.
When I decided to quit my corporate job 13, almost 14 years ago to raise my daughter, I knew that I had to come with a uniqueness and an impact that I wanted to provide to the world because I was looking to redevelop and recreate a business, but exclusively online. Now this is 13 years ago, so that was a long time ago and there was no social media. So how do you actually do that? And so I really started looking at ways that I could be extremely unique in the marketplace. And for me, the start point was that I was gonna become this unstoppable mama, right? That I quit a corporate job to build a business so I could raise my child and never put her in daycare. So we built the brand Unstoppable Family, and I was the Unstoppable Mama, my husband's the Unstoppable Surfer, and she became the Unstoppable Girl.
I'm Hanalei.
And we're the Unstoppable Family.
As I built my business, I was always continuing to share our story. And I realized that there was no platforms at that point to get out to the world. So the best platform was stages. And so I would reach out and start telling my story because we had a really amazing story and the world wanted to hear it. And so when I positioned myself, look, I've got this incredible story. This is what I do. This is who I am. I'd love to speak on your stage and share with your audience. They said yes. I'm like, wow, this is powerful because there's a lot of people that really want stories and I know the world wants stories. And yeah, so that's really how it started to continue to break out and how I got really well known on stages and then really well crafted what I did for my clients. So I not only came on stage to tell a story, but I also had something to teach and show them how to do it.
What do you love most about speaking?
I love speaking because it's the energy. Like some people's cups get pulled from, right, when they're on stage. Like it's scary to speak in public. My cup gets filled, right? The more I look in people's eyes, the more I, feel that what I'm saying is tapping into their heart, the more I get energized to continue to do it.
I love that. I totally relate as well.
Yeah.
What is your message for the world?
My message to the world is to look inside of your own personal soul and find out why you were put on this earth. And to look at what you can do just to transform one person's life, just one person's life. Because all of us have a uniqueness inside of us. And for me, that's building your brand, right? So I look at, some people look at their essence or who you are and bring it out. I say, no, what's inside of you is a brand because that's a business. Your soul has something amazing. Your uniqueness is something that others want. They want that from you. And I help people take that essence from themselves, package them up into a beautiful, sexy brand, I like to call it, and then we position them, monetize and productize their knowledge, and bring it to the world.
I love it. And she throws retreats here in Bali in this beautiful location. And so tell us about your retreats.
With 8 to 12 different characters, if you will, different brands, different messages. And we do photo shoots, complete brand films, their content films, their complete marketing plan, and I help them automate their business. That's usually what either coaches, consultants, or speakers. They're good at what they do, but they wear themselves out. There's no automation, there's no technology behind it, there's no innovation. So you can only do as much as your mouth can produce, right?
Yeah.
And so I help them create a sales process and then to really productize their best work so that they can also create an ascension model into their business.
And if somebody at home wanted to get started now on getting their message out into the world and starting to position themselves, what would be your advice to an up-and-coming speaker?
Yeah, great. There are some really specific things you must do. In fact, there's thousands of people that want to be speakers. Thousands. In fact, there's billions that are on Instagram that are sharing their message. There are 4.6 billion that are on Facebook every day doing lives, sharing their message. So as a platform speaker, as a speaker, you have to select, okay, do I want to be keynote? Do I want to speak to sell? Do I want to just connect and share my story? Do I want to provide content? So there's a really specific thing. You have to know what you want to do and what you're great at. Personally, I do keynote and I do speaking to sell because I have products on the back end. So speakers can be extremely profitable, can create it and turn it into an income or into a lifestyle business if they also have something to offer on the back end. Okay, so you have to select that first. But most importantly, in order to get on stages, you have to know exactly what you do. So it goes back to now marketing and being a brand. What are you? What do you do? Who do you help? What are the problems that you solve? And you have to nail them. You cannot be, oh, I help women transform their life. Where? Do you help them transform their gut? Do you help them transform their smile, their weight, their relationships? You have to know what you do. And when everyone's like, oh, wealth, health, wealth, money, relationships. No, you're failing miserably. It's got to be, I help women find the best relationship. I help women turn into CEOs. I help men get a better, get more ladies. I mean, you've got to be specific though. I help engineer men get, it's got to be that specific because we're too general and the world doesn't want general anymore. So it's about being really, really defined. Okay, that's the first thing. Know what you are. The second is a really magical piece that we create for our clients that gets our clients 9 out of 10 times booked. It's going on the offense. Actually creating, and we utilize media kits, but they're made in a very specific way that reaches out to the proper stage that you know you can solve the problem for. And we reach out to them, provide them with a media kit. 9 times out of 10, they say yes. And there's a strategy behind doing that, and that's part of the magic.
So you told me a couple of days ago, I think at Hanalei's fashion show, you mentioned that she's your favorite brand.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And I want to know what you want to share with us about how, because her daughter is just turned 12 years old, like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And she's already out there on the speaker circuit and rocking the stage. What went into creating that brand? What were some of the elements that were involved in your thinking there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she is my daughter, so it's her favorite. Although a lot came more out of why it is what it is today, and it came all down to values.
Okay.
It came everything down to values, and she not only loved art and fashion and drawing, but it was her that said, okay, I love art and fashion, and yeah, I could make a fashion brand. And we said, well, what would that mean? She's like, well, but I don't really love fashion, actually, the way people look at fashion, because the standards and the beauty standards make every woman feel that they have to be perfect, and that's not real. And she said then she, was, as we've been traveling for 11 years, that she would see the beaches that we had traveled to before, and they had plastic and junk and garbage on them. She's like, but Mom, I want to do something different. So how can I use my passion for fashion and bring in my values of helping the planet, which is saving the planet, and helping others and helping children. And so now her brand, the foundation of it is that we not only utilize eco-friendly materials like bamboo, we use modal. She's done deep research on sustainable fabrics. And also we give a school uniform to children in India with every item that we sell, because the children at 13 lose their uniform from the government and they can't afford to go to school. So girls get pregnant, school dropout rates, there's so much that happens. So here's this conscious child that's been growing up around the world, traveling, that has seen it all. She's seen poverty, she's seen, broken down homes and trash and pollution. And she started wanting to put that together. So that brand didn't come because she wanted just to make clothing. She could just sketch. It came because she wanted to use her passions and bring it out to the world and then create clothing that made women feel beautiful, create something that can give back to the planet and can also contribute back to children in need. And so that message came from her values, and that the business and the brand came from that. And then of course now that's what stages wanted. They're like, whoa. So yes, she started speaking at 8, but most kids don't have a story that deep. And so that's really where it started. And she just was sharing quite a bit on Facebook and going live. And I said I would go to a stage talk, and I said, look, I'm putting a media kit together for Hanalei because her message and vision is so big. And we had an event that we were speaking at that was really conscious entrepreneurs, nomads, but they're really conscious entrepreneurs. And I said, look, you got to see my daughter's speaker reel and media kit. And they brought her in. And then from there, she got the one break. And then now she's been traveling and flown all over the world and getting paid. But it came from the values before it came from just the idea of a product.
What's coming to my head now is that's why I get the chills. I'm guessing that's why I get the chills when I talk to you. I get the chills when I hear about her and her work and talk to her. And it's because it's fueled with spirit or soul. It starts with soul. It starts with the deepest level.
Yep.
So that's it.
Yeah. That's it. And, and think about it. Like, if we're building businesses or we're building brands or you want to be a speaker, you got to know who you are, but really it's got to come from the depths. That's why I say pull it out of you, because it can't be, okay, I want to help women. It's like, I want to help them because maybe I was raped or battered or couldn't get through something, and I figured it out. Now I know I can help them. It's got to have something that has so much more heartbeats. Otherwise, it's just, you're just trying to make money.
Yeah.
And everyone feels that.
Yeah.
But we all have something unique. And if you have a story that you can tell, there's certain ways that you do tell a story, especially on a stage talk. There's ways that you deliver, how you open, how you educate, and then how you move them either to closing, into an offer, or, bringing them just into their heartstrings so they want more of you.
I'm not exactly sure what it is about your family, the Unstoppable family. I felt like I've fallen in love with your family. And I feel like it's because you're real, because I feel soul. So then what would be your take on being the family that a lot of us, maybe everybody, seem to instantly gravitate towards and fall in love with?
Well, okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I think it really is because we have come from such depth. What our family is so based on values, and we're so integrity based, and that's we wanted to raise a conscious child. Right? We became conscious parents who knew the actions that we took created a reaction in someone else, and it whether created a ripple effect to our child or it molded her to who she became. So we were very aware of it, and our story is quite unique because we started traveling 11 some years ago, and it wasn't because we had tons of money in the bank. It was because we lost everything, and we actually went into really deep losses, $26 million loss of homes, and we live in the top of the hill in La Jolla.
Wow.
We had the Mercedes, the Hummers, the stuff. So one day, finding out that we were frauded in a big real estate deal, and we literally had to sign off on everything, and Hanalei was just born. So all this work that I thought I was doing to raise this amazing child and to bring her up, and so I could be with her every day, was gone. And so we had to look at ourselves and say, whoa, wait, who are we? We are not money for this child. Who are we? Yeah,
my whole body,
exactly.
I'm like, oh my God.
We wanted to consciously raise her in a way that allowed her to know that no matter what your circumstances are, it doesn't define you. And so we sold everything and said, you know what? In order to get our mind out of this crazy gutter that we were in, lawyers for a year, and it was insane. We were, emotionally just frazzled, and we have a brand new baby. We sold, literally, we had to sign everything off. And we left with $12,682 to our name. And, this is coming from a family that had millions in the bank. To say, okay, we're going to start our whole new life. We're leaving everything, and that's all we have left. No IRAs, no second, plan B. And that's, I think, why we care so much about what we do and the people, because we knew what it took. We didn't at first, but now we do. It was just being real, holding your values, and then growing from there. And that's what started to happen. We kept sharing our story, kept going on stages and sharing our story. And people were like, whoa, how did you do this? And now you've been traveling now for a year already. And then she's a year. No way. How are you doing this? And we just kept sharing the story. I just kept sharing the story. And from there, of course, I would pick up clients because I was coaching and I was showing people how to get, picked up, tell their story properly, build a brand. And it just kept growing from there. So I think our agency has grown so big because it came from so much heart and value and realness. I didn't just say, hey, I'm going to figure this out and sell you this. It's like, no, I've done it. I know how. I know the feeling. I know how hard it is. It's okay. I've been there too. When you don't feel like you have anything, you don't want to share that story anymore, and you feel like it's over and I can't do this. That's what your audience is waiting for. They're waiting for you to be in a really tough spot and show up. Because when you stop showing up, they stop trusting. That's what building a legacy is, and building a brand and a business that people just go, I don't care what happens to them, I'm still following them. And that's what happened for us and our family, and why things grew so, not quickly, of course, in 11 years, but it stayed and maintained its growth.
I think the reason why I cried during Hanalei's talk was I'm just so happy to know that the way that you raised her, that exists. And it was such a shock from like my own experience that it was just like, wow. It really healed something inside me, and I'm bawling, and I'm like, why am I crying? To see this girl grow up and not only believe in herself, but then to share herself with the world, it's so powerful.
It is. Thank you for that. Really, I want you to know how grateful I am to hear that, because she's an amazing human, and I believe that she actually chose us, and she chose us at the moment. She came early, 33 days early, when it was like the worst hell we were going through. And I thought I had her early because I was stressed, and it took about 10 years for someone to say, no, don't you think maybe she came early because she came to actually pull you away from that stress and to give you joy? Believe me, that's who she is, and that's why I believe she chose us in the moment, and it helped me take my mind off of the garbage and move forward for her. And so now I know that when you're in an environment, especially as us as parents, we've just been very protective of the words that we say and how we say it, and no negative. We cut out "don't not know" out of our vocabulary, and just gave her reframes of walk over the crack, tell her what to do, not what not to do. And just change the way we were being and how she heard things. She didn't hear things of don't do that, stop, do that, jump, don't do that. It was just tread lightly, climb solid, but tread lightly. Be aware if you have to jump. Like telling her what to be prepared for. We empowered her to believe in what she was saying, the things that she was doing. And so she's bringing a great message out to the world doing that.
I love that so much, much. It's so moving, So if these folks, I'm sure that if you're, on the way to being in love, if not already in love, where can they find you?
Our family brand is Unstoppable Family. So just research Unstoppable Family or go to unstoppablefamily.com, and then you'll get to see the full family story and, everything that we do as well traveling.
Welcome to Porto de la Cruz from the Canary Islands.
Machu Picchu on 4th of July.
Cusco, Peru.
Rio de Janeiro.
Morocco! And I got my Moroccan beef.
It's literally our front yard. Not too shabby of a view.
To find our work, what I do is Unstoppable Branding Agency. It shows you all the great things that we do for our clients, media kits, and how to productize your knowledge. I have a Help Me Rhonda show that I run every Wednesday night on marketing and branding, and getting picked up as speakers as well on Facebook. So if you just search Rhonda Swan or Unstoppable Momma, you'll find me.
Oh my gosh, this has been such a gift, because it's, if you have a message in you and you just have that fear over getting through the hurdle to share it, whether it is in a Facebook Live, whether it's in a book or a post or a blog, or whether it's on a TED stage or any stage at all, it's do it.
Yeah,
just do it. So we need your message. We need what's inside you. Your unique gift.
That's it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you
really
so much.
Appreciate it.